Hello everybody, right, here we go again, eh? Right, now we're going to make some more of these grinding hubs. So, I'll show you how I did the first one. I've got my little drawings done here, so I know pretty much where I'm going with it. And that one there as well. What I've done, it's all in imperial, but I've converted it to metric, because obviously my lathe is it's a metric lathe. And you can maybe hear in the background the bandsaw is yeah, I reckon about another 3 days and we'll be through that. So anyway, we'll hang about till that's cut off, and then we'll get that in the lathe, and then yeah, I'll show you how I made that other one, the first one. And like I say, it's I'm not going to show you how to do it, I'm going to show you how I did it. And if there's anything along the way that you can see that I could improve on, then by all means let me know in the comments below, and then we'll go from there. So we'll resume when that's cut off and it's in the lathe. Right. Okay chaps, well, a day later it's finally cut it off. I'm beginning to wonder if the blades I've got are all that good, to be fair. So what we got here? 60.3, 60.9. They're Starrett blades what I've been getting, and I've got to be honest, I don't think that they are what they used to be. Anyway, you use what you've got, don't you? So, what I'm going to do is, it's a bit frustrating, well, not frustrating, you've got to think about what you're doing when you're doing these, because the way I made the last one, I'm going to machine, once this is machined and you've got, where's my hub? Let's say you've got it machined and that's what you've got. I've machined a female part for this to screw into, which is in my 3-jaw chuck over there on the lathe, if you're wondering why I'm using the 4-jaw. But the problem is with that, because this is left-hand thread, when you screw that into there, you've got to run the lathe in reverse, and you've got to machine everything from this side, which is not too bad to do. But the problem is, I've got the top slide set at the angle to cut this taper, and we'll cut that from that way as well, because obviously, like I say, we've got to cut it from the back because it's left-handed thread. With this piece of steel in here, the finished, where are we? The finished dimension wants to be 88mm. So I want to take this down to 90 and then spin it round, put it back in, and then take the other side down. Then, once I've got this side down to 90, let me get this right, I'll take it out, put it back in, and then machine this front to suit, like this. And the reason, you may be saying, well, why are you turning it round out? Well, it's because when this is in the machine at this diameter, because I've got the cross slide set, sorry, the top slide set at that angle, I can hardly reach this side to start to cut it. It'll all become apparent as we get a little bit further, I hope. So first of all, we're going to get this somewhere close, haven't we? Feels a little bit yeah, that's a bit better. Right. So 0 there. Tenth there the other side. Not that easy to. No, so we're not too bad that way. Or a mile out that way. It's got such a rough coating on it. The DTI gauge is bouncing around like you wouldn't believe. It's not far off. Five thousand 0 0 0 5. You know, slight variation, but I think that's what that's going to be like. Some power onto it. It's blowing a bleeding gale outside as well. We had it showing on my phone, but that decided to. Right, let's pick a weapon, shall we? So, I should like to try and finish this. What did I say? Finished dimensions 88mm. I'll leave myself a couple of mil. So there we've got, well, it's 100mm round, isn't it? It's 100.6. So we want about 10mm off it. Not at that speed we don't. We'll go for a conservative 235 Rippums. With about a 6 thou feed rate. And we'll come up to about there. Like I say, we're just going to get this down. It'll all become apparent later on when we're machining it from the other side. Bring you guys in a little bit, shall we? Let's try 3mm. That's making it bark a bit. I think, oh well, I was told this was normal mild steel, but I've got to be honest, I don't think it is. Seems a little bit harder than that. Definitely, if I said it feels a little bit chewy, that might make a bit more sense. R4. I'm going to try 2mm this time. Yeah, that's not too bad. I'll get this down to 90 mil, and then we'll have a flip round. I'll try a different tool. Well, it's making it shinier, but it's not cutting it any easier. .100mm diameter is the nearest I could get to what I needed, so that's why I'm going to cut so much off. uh, 91.4. This should just about do us, I think. There's no particular finesse needed with this at the moment. It's just getting it somewhere close. We're near enough 90 there, look. Bring it into the focus. Yeah. So I'm not even going to face this off because no need to. Right, let's bring you guys back out a little bit. So now we've got to flip it round. Oh, there's a bit of heat in it. Right, I'll get this squared up and then bring you back again. Right, so we're just going to machine the front of this flat, face it off, and we're going to start to do the work. You can see that everything that we see there going to replicate on the front of this. Got the OD to take down to about 90mm, the same as it, well, we'll take it down to about 90. By the time we get that done, this will have that much heat in it that I won't really be able to do anything, well, not with any accuracy anyway, until it's cooled down. So we'll take this outside off, we can rough out the middle bit and get it somewhere close to where we want to be. That's the plan anyway. Like I say, all this is just still roughing out, so I'm not too fussed about surface finishes or anything like that. But I know what we have got to think about now. This needs to go in 31mm. Let's just work that out, haven't I? So 31 divided by 25.4 equals, oh come on, what's up here? 31 divided by 25.4. I'm going to go in 1 inch 220. Or just touch stuff on there, and then we'll use the dial on the carriage here. We'll just go in 30mm. That's 20, 25, 30. Set our little dial on the bed. Just make sure we're going to miss, yeah. Right. We all going the right way, yeah. So there's a lot to come off here now. We're going to go in 30mm and we're going to reduce that diameter to, what is it, 25.4 or something like that, inch? No, 1 inch 250. So you can imagine how hot that's going to be by the time I've got down to there. I'm taking 2mm at a time. I don't want to push it too hard because, ouch, I don't want anything to move. So making these hubs after I made the first one, you know, it's not the sort of thing that you want to be pushing. Take your time. Well, for me anyway, that's how I found the best way to go, I think. That particular tool in there, it's, what is it, CNMG. I've not really had that much luck with that tool, to be honest. But it seems to be doing a reasonable job now. I don't know whether the camera's going to pick this up, sorry, the sound. When this is cutting you can hear a rumble every so often. And yeah, I don't know whether it'll pick it up, but in hindsight, pardon me, don't get me wrong, I mean, I got my steel from a friend of mine and I'm very grateful. I mean, I bought it, like, obviously. But I wish now I'd have got a piece of EN24 or EN8, something like that. Because this mild steel, I mean, it turns like shit, to be honest. But anyway, lesson learned. So if you fancy doing some of these yourself, just from experience, personal experience up to now, I wouldn't recommend you doing them out of mild steel. Get something a bit better. I'm not saying you know, tool steel or anything like that so you can harden them, because they shouldn't need hardening, but just something that will turn a lot better. When I was doing this before, I was beginning to think that there was something wrong with the machine, with the grumbling noise that I keep hearing, thinking it was something out of the gearbox. But obviously it isn't. It's that bloody rumbling that the tool's making. Because I put a different tool in, you know, a finishing tool, and then that noise disappears. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. So we're still taking 2mm cut, but now we've sped up to 425 and I've got a 10 thou feed rate on. Or 2.25mm feed rate on. The floor in my workshop, it looks like a porcupine's been in here. Like a porcupine made out of steel and somebody's blown it up on the floor. It is awful stuff, this is. No point in trying to pussyfoot around with it too much. You can hear that grumbling now, can't you? If the volume, if the audio's in time with the machine, when you hear that grumbling, you can see that at exactly the same time, it's when it's breaking the chip in bits like this, look. I've a feeling though that the camera volume, the audio won't pick it up. Hopefully it will. Right, so the finished diameter of that back is 31.7, this. So I reckon, what, that'll be 32.7. We can take it down to about 33. Should be pretty close. Yeah. I'll take 0.9 of a mil off it. And then we'll have to leave it cool down. While it's doing that, I can have a bit of a clean up in the workshop here. Yeah, we've got 33 mil there. Right, we'll leave it at that for now. Yeah, it's hot. It's not stick your finger to it hot, but it's, well, it would if you held it on there long enough. So I think what we'll do now is we'll leave that to cool off, and in the meantime I'll have a bit of a tidy up round here. Like I say, it looks like a bomb's gone off on my floor down here. Luckily I've got one of those magnetic sweeping brush things, so that'll make life a bit easier. So, right, we'll resume in a bit. Nice and cool. Right. A quick recap of where I got to, I think. So I want to finish that at 31.7 and we're 33. So I'll have a change of tool. Right, where's it gone? As soon as I have a change of tool, if we can see what he wants. What have I done with that? There we go. Right, the only problem with that is it's facing the wrong way around. Right, we'll just get this done and then I'll have another look in a minute. Just take a real nice little skim cut on there. Only, what have I put on it? 1/8 thou. Just gives us a starting point. Right, that's, now we need to go 31 mil. So again, I'm going to use my wheel on the carriage. It's 25, 31. That's actually, we need a little bit more off there than I thought, so we'll have to swap tools out again, I'm afraid. Taking about a 20 thou cut there. Okay, well it will appear, sorry not will appear, it would appear I've made a slight faux pas in that when I've been explaining what I'm doing since I came back out, and I've been turning the camera on, I've actually been turning it off. Oh dear. So anyway, this is where we've got to. We've skimmed this face up at the back here, and from here to there is within 1/5 of finish length. We want this diameter here to finish at 31.75, and we're at 32.39. So 32.39 minus 31.75 equals 0.64. So we'll take 0.5 of a mil off it. And we'll have another little check. .92. I do check it with my calculator because I'm not, me and maths don't get on very well. So we want 0.17 off it. I'm going to take 0.1, sneak up on the finished diameter. To get this done, we've got to put a relief in the back. We've got to put a left hand thread on this, and we've got to bore the front out. Well, bore it all the way through. .3182. What do we want? 3175. 0.7 off it, don't we? Well, 07. We're not to within a 100th of a millimetre on this, I don't think. But we'll get it as good as we can. .75. That'll do me. Right, I'm going to let that run back down there. Just taking any little tiny bits off. And I'm going to stop it when I get to the end, and I'm going to reverse the feed so I can feed out and just take that last 1/5 off the back. Just stop it when it's right in the corner. It shouldn't really interfere with anything then, should it? That's our 5 thou back on. So we had a nice finish there, now we've got a shit finish. Never mind. I should have increased the feed rate on it, that's why. I have to remember that when I do another one. Right, that should be us done there now. Oh, I don't know, it's nice and smooth. Like I say though, we've got to cut a recess in here yet. Something like that, all the way around to the centre there. So all this part gets relieved. Right, what are you going to do now, Al? Right, I'm going to move the camera around a minute because we're now going to do, what we'll do, we'll centre drill this and drill a hole all the way through it, and then we'll counterbore this end. Where's my hook gone so I can show you? Yeah. So we'll just measure that and make sure that we drill it smaller than that, because that's the taper, and then we've got to put this counterbore in the end there. But we'll get the camera moved before we do any of that. Right, put centre drill in, and then I'm going to put in then just a 13mm drill and drill all the way through. A bit awkward because the camera's right in my way, but take the centre drill out and also throw my chuck key in the bottom of the lathe pan. The finished size hole at this end will end up being about 16 or 17mm by the time that the taper's cut. But we just put a 13mm hole all the way through, then we know we'll be alright. God, I seem to be knocking everything off today. I think we'll slow things down quite a bit, because this stuff is quite gummy. What we're running at there, about 175. I don't want it to snatch, you see, and move. So there's no mad rush. Doesn't even chip like normal steel, does it? Well, that was bloody awful to drill. Right, I think we're going to have a bit of a change of plan, I think. So we've got that drilled out. I'm going to bore it out a little bit more. So I'll move the camera again and then have another look. I'm thinking I'm going to take this out to about 16mm. The other one is about 17.3. So I think we'll bore this out to about 16. What we got there? 13.2. So we can take about 3mm out of it, can't we? I'll just speed things up a little. Take a trial cut first. Boring bar fits. What did Al forget to do? Put the feed back the right way round. Got a touch off. There. Oh, got the feed the right way around on the wrong. We'll try this time. There we go. So we'll take about half a mil all the way through, and we'll just have a little quick measure afterwards. Make sure that we're not too bad. You can see all the tool holder and everything's in the way, innit? Anyway, it is what it is. I'm looking at this from the side now and everything's all still running true. I was a little bit worried when I was drilling it that it was going to snatch and move it out of line. I could have got it back, I suppose, but it would have been a bit of a pain. I can see the tool moving. God, it's bloody awful stuff, this steel. When I cut the taper in it, I'll have to make sure that I've got a really fine edge on the boring bar. Yeah, look at that lot. It's a good job it's only roughing it out. That's all I can say. .15.8, so I'm just going to run that through at the same setting. And then that'll do us. What time are we on? It's 5:30. I'm going to have to go in and start making dinner soon for me and the boy. So I think we'll maybe call it a do for now. And I'll have a look at this video later on the computer. If I've got enough, I'll upload it. At least it'll give you something to watch. And then tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, we'll be back on it. We'll bore this end out, cut the thread relief in there, get that left hand 20 TPI thread cut on it, and then carry on. So anyway, we'll see you a bit later.